Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to tonight's show of Love on the Line. Ask April A. I am your certified expert relationship coach, April A. Carter. I'm just trying to get myself camera ready here. Got my trusty notes, and I am ready to give you some amazing expert advice. We have two beautiful women coming on today to ask questions and get expert relationship advice, and I'm excited to bring them on. Our first guest is Keisha. She is in Charlotte, North Carolina. That is actually where I reside as well. And she is a professional. She is a mom, and she's just looking to get off the dating and relationship roller coaster. So, without further ado, we're going to bring her on. But before I do, guys, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Make sure you comment. I want it to be interactive. I want to make sure you get your love questions answered as well. Our second guest tonight is the amazing Tisha. Her IG handle, y'all, is Tisha Baby. So you guys, I'll give you all of the information on where you can find them, and I'll even give them the opportunity to share what they have coming up next. So let's bring on our first guest. Thank you, ladies, for being here. Let me make sure Miss Keisha is ready. I hope she doesn't have any technical difficulties. It looks like she may be having some. But let's see. Let's bring her on. If not, we'll just switch the times around. So let me get Keisha in. Hey, y'all. Thanks for joining. All right. So let's see where we at. Let's get Keisha on. Let's bring Keisha to the stage. Keisha might be having some issues, but let me go ahead and add the actual invite link in case you guys want to join in on the conversation. I'm going to put the link directly in the chat, okay? So you guys can go ahead and click that link, and when the time comes, if it's appropriate or if we have enough time left, I'll be able to actually bring you on the show as well. So let's get the link set up right here. Hope everybody can see the link. I'm going to go ahead and pin that link. All right. So we got the link pinned. Okay, so let's go. Keisha dropped from the line. So we're going to bring on our second guest tonight, Miss Tisha Baby. Miss Tisha Baby, you ready? Welcome to the stage, Miss Tisha Baby.
Can you hear me?
Woo! Yes, we can hear you, and you look so beautiful.
Thank you. I barely made it home from work. So thank
Oh
you.
my goodness. And you decided to spend your evening with us. Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. I know you're going to have some great questions. I know the audience can't wait to ask some questions. And I know you are probably going to ask the questions that a lot of our ladies want to hear, or even some of our men who are on the line. So before we get started, Tisha, what would you like the audience to know about you?
Okay, so about me, I'm Tisha. I am originally from St. Louis, Missouri, but I currently reside in Charlotte, North Carolina. I've been in Charlotte for 6 years. I moved here for work and also a change of atmosphere. I wanted better weather and just a more active lifestyle other than where I was from. I've lived in Atlanta. I've traveled a bunch. I don't have any children. I've been married, so I have been a wife, but I am 46 years young, seeking to be a wife again.
Okay.
However, dating is in Charlotte, it's a little complicated. And I just, I don't want to be the one of those women that lead with like my credentials because that's not the point at all. But it's just, I meet people all the time, but getting to meeting the people that are right for me or getting to going getting past that first I, one of my friends called it getting past that first boundary. that's what
Mm.
we're that's
Oh,
what
we
we're
can't wait to talk about that. We
that's the
cannot
best way
wait
to
to
describe
talk
it.
about
Getting
that.
past that first boundary we have. I'm struggling with it.
Okay, so we're going to dive right on into that tonight. Well, let me make sure we don't have anybody waiting in the chat. Is there anybody in the chat that we need to let in? Got everything pinned. I'm just speaking with my assistant over here. Thank you so much. Miss Jessica's handling it for us tonight. We make sure everybody has the link. Make sure you guys can get in. And while we are waiting, Tisha, be sure that you share it with your friends. Go ahead and send that text out right now. Let them know that you are live. And guess what? They can actually catch the replay as well.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. So you mentioned well, you mentioned a lot, but the thing that I think is truly important that you touched on is not leading with your credentials. Now, I know that's hard, right? That is very hard because it's like, wait a minute, you didn't do all of that for nothing, right? But in today's society, of course, just dating, it can already be an issue. And then just leading with your credentials can sometimes be off putting. So I'm glad that you mentioned that. So, ladies, when you meet somebody, they want to know who you are, not what you've done. Okay. So I want to make sure that you are leading with your personality first. And then once you get to know somebody better, then you can actually go ahead and just tell them a little bit more about you and some of the things that you've accomplished in your life. And hopefully the person that you're speaking with or that you're dating has actually accomplished some things as well. Okay. So we want to date on our level or above. We don't want to continue to pull people up. So that was really important that you mentioned, right? So I appreciate you for recognizing that. So you're halfway there. You kind of already know.
I've been doing the work. I've been
It
working on
sounds like
myself.
it. You've been doing the work. Okay, perfect. So now the second thing that I want to ask you is the boundaries that you just mentioned. What was that first boundary that you just mentioned? Leading with your boundaries, or you can't get past that first boundary. What is that?
So no matter, almost every time I meet somebody, they're like, they're attracted to my energy, they're attracted to my personality, um, whether, platonic or in a romantic setting. And because I've experienced, challenges in dating in the past, and you meet a guy out, the gas station, Walmart, the club, wherever, and they're like, "You gonna be my wife?" I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't
You're like,
know.
here we go with the BS, right?
It's not because I don't believe it. And the most important thing is that for me, it's about accountability and communication.
Okay.
And so when I say that we have trouble, I have trouble getting past that first boundary. The boundary for me is being accountable. I truly only hold the person I'm dating accountable to the things that they say that they're going to do. Because I've been disappointed in the past. And so I don't project my expectation on other people, because then if they tell me what they will or will not do, that I can make my choice. So when somebody says, I'm going to be this, that, and the third, and then we run into this instance where they're not being that or not showing up as that person, and I'm not gonna say I call them up, but I try to engage that conversation about, hey, we talked about this and that third, and I'm met with defense or excuses. It's almost like the running joke of, you can ask somebody, why you breathing so hard? And they're gonna make an excuse versus saying, I wasn't breathing hard. That's what I feel like I run into with guys. Like I might say, hey, you said that X, Y, and Z, and they make up with the excuse versus being like, you know what, you're right.
Okay. Okay, so is that automatically that deal breaker for you that you actually shut it down? And the secondary question is, do you bring that up on the first time when they fail to follow through with their commitment?
Let's see. First question is, do I bring it up the first time?
Yes.
Uh, it kind of depends. I'll try to the first time I'll try to be gentle in that in the reminder, more or less. I won't come across as hard, and it won't be necessarily a deal breaker unless it's something like egregious, but like a no call, no show. But if it's something like, oh, I'm gonna bring you lunch today, and then that day that goes by, and I'll be like, hey, what happened to you? And they be like, oh, I got busy, or it won't be that I got busy. It'll be I don't hear from you,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's dinner time, and it's like, hey, what's up, babe? And I'm thinking like, what happened to lunch?
Right. It's like I didn't hear from you all day. Well, first of all, you definitely need to hold them accountable, of course, absolutely. The secondary thing is if they are not somebody that you can see yourself with, or you can see yourself, having a prolonged and not professional, but a genuine conversation with, if it doesn't apply, let it fly. So basically, when they show you that particular issue or they show you who they are, you have to believe them. And most importantly, do not waste your breath. Do not waste any effort. Why? Because you just mentioned that you meet people all the time. You don't have a problem with that. So I like to say X to the next. Because something as small as a lunch date, or if they didn't call you, they automatically, like you mentioned, showed you who they are. Secondary, the reason why you are doing that, refraining, is because they are already expecting to be met with that combative type of, I guess, tone. They're already expecting that. So
they're
when
already
they
on
get
fight
that
mode.
confirmation, right, they're already in fight mode because they know that they dropped the ball with somebody like you. So we are going to kind of date smarter and not use the same patterns that we're used to dating. So you know that they didn't call you. They know that they didn't call you. So instead of, hey, what happened to, when you were supposed to pick up the phone and you're supposed to go on a date or whatever it was, you can easily, hey, well, thanks. Nice to hear from you. I'm not interested in moving forward anymore at this time. Just shut it down. Why we're doing that? Because you are going to bring the ball back in your court. So every time you bring up something that they did not do, they are already feeling diminished as a man, and they are already on the combative side of it, just as you mentioned. But that gives you the power to say, hey, you know what? I know what you've done, and now it's back on me. Because as soon as you give them that, hold them accountable, they already feel as though it's going to be an issue. And now they feel as though they have the upper hand. And now they may do one or two things. They may disappear and ghost. Or the second thing is they may try to overcompensate, which you don't want somebody to overcompensate if it's not genuine, because that is something that is not going to last.
That part.
Okay. And you don't want them to feel as though they're just doing this just because they want to appease you. You want somebody in your life that is actually authentic. You want somebody in your life who is actually really ready to date, not somebody that is ready to play games. So we have to cut them off at the knees before we even validate their feelings for not even showing up or having the courtesy or professionalism to pick up the phone and say, hey, I got busy. When they do that, that is already them letting you know that you are not important enough. You are not worthy enough. So do not validate that with the, hey, I was waiting for you. You didn't call me.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're not being, I'm not being over dramatic by being like, this is not going to work for me.
You're not being over dramatic because you've already been over dramatic with the, what happened to you? Why didn't you call me? That's already over dramatic for somebody that you are not in a consistent relationship with. For somebody that you've just met maybe a week or two ago. You guys have not established that type of relationship or that type of bond yet for you to be over dramatic, as you would put it.
Because I'm not going to argue past that.
You're not going to argue, and that's why you should not mention it.
Okay.
Put them in the no-fly zone category. You
Can
still be gracious. You can still be, a woman of value, all those things. But just know that that relationship is not going to work for you, excuse me. And at this point, the tables have turned, the tables have flipped. Now they are wondering, well, what's wrong with her? Is she, you want to put that over there. And do not follow back up with them, because now they're going to be following up with you. They're going to call you. They're going to be like, wow, she's different. She didn't mention it. But you don't want them, because that boundary has already been crossed. And that is your boundary, that commitment. So when you set that boundary, stick to that boundary. The boundary doesn't mean, okay, I'm going to break this boundary if he has a good excuse. A boundary is a boundary is a boundary.
I agree. And that's something that's, for me, it's critical. It's so everybody has their hierarchy of needs. For me, it's accountability. Like,
right.
You're going to do it or you're not.
Either you're going to do it or you're not, but they can just say anything, right? He can say, oh, I was working or I was busy. And then what? Now you're going to go on a date with him and still give him the opportunity to get to know you after he's already disrespected you? No. We're not doing that. Okay, so we got your personality and your energy is a plus. It's all the way up, which is great. your accountability and communication. So you've done that as well. What other relationship roadblocks do you think it is? Because you're always meeting people. What was some of the feedback that maybe some of the people that you've dated in the past have given you?
Okay, let me think some good ones. Because I'm not absent of, I'm not perfect.
Okay.
Um, I most recently, the funny one was I had someone tell me like a couple months ago that I had too much masculine energy.
Okay.
I was like, okay, that and that was in one of those accountability conversations. So listening to your advice, we didn't even have to go that far. I didn't even have to debate it because it was more of like the masculine energy came from just if if you want to tell me something that doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense, that kind of thing. So, what other feedback have I gotten? I also my one of my roadblocks is I don't know about other women in Charlotte, but I feel like Charlotte has the most single married men than any other city in America. They just single and dating. And I say that because not that that's something that's not the energy that I want, but it's very prevalent and very just not even it's no more like a faux pas for somebody to be married, but aggressively seeking a relationship with a single person. And I'm thinking there's so not no offense to anybody that chooses that path. There are women that's okay with, but that's not what I'm looking for, And so for somebody, for a married man to be either upfront and be interested, okay, that's easy. I can wipe that slate. But if there's been a couple instances where a person was married and then wanted to hide it, and why?
Okay.
I mean, even most recently, I'll just share that I met someone. This guy chased me out of Lowe's. Like I'm on my lunch break, hair in a bun, no makeup, glasses on, trying to buy some seed to for my grass and do my little Miss Parker gardening. And he chases me out of the Lowe's and was like, "Hey, all this and that third." And so immediately we exchanged numbers. It's drizzling. I'm like, I'm on my lunch break. I gotta go.
Right.
So then he calls. He wants to, converse. And I'm like, hey, I'm working because I got a day job. However, if you want to get to know me, perhaps we can, and you're local, how about we have dinner tonight if you don't have a wife or a girlfriend?
Mhm.
So, because I'm trying to like just kind of
Right.
test it out. We go to dinner, have a great dinner. Last dialogue, 3, 4, 5 weeks later, discover this person has a whole wife. But why? So it's just one of those things where um, I think that's a roadblock. I can't. Um, that's a them thing, not me. I
Okay.
just have gotten better at finding out sooner than versus later.
Okay. Okay, so let's unpack that. This is good stuff, by the way, because you are not alone. And this is not the first time that I've heard this. Okay, so we're going to go break it down by the first thing that you said, which was the masculine energy. So, with the masculine energy, with women who are of high value, women who are of high net worth, women who are just owning everything in their lives, right? Sometimes we get that stigma. And that stigma comes from you having to be masculine. Let's be honest, let's be real. You have to do everything. You have to be the head of your household. You have to make sure the bills are running. You have to make sure the property is taken care of, the lawn and all that. Even if you hire somebody to do it, those are
Right,
some of the things that you have to handle. So when somebody does come into your life, it's like, okay, wait a minute, I don't trust this. I'm not familiar with this. You're still sitting in that masculine energy. One way that you can actually soften up a little bit is because, and the reason why I'm telling you this is because men absolutely want women who are not necessarily a damsel in distress, but somebody that they can actually see helping, somebody that they can add value into their life for with. So, one of the things that you're going to do, you are going to relax, relate, and release. You might have all the answers. You know exactly how to do things, but I want you to fall back a little bit.
and
And
see what
when
he
I, huh?
and see what he's gonna do.
Yes, and allow him to lead. Allow him to be able to take care of the situation, right? Sometimes we know that, well, we think in advance that somebody's not going to follow through with something. Let me just handle this real quick. I'll make sure that it gets done. No, allow him to handle it. Allow him to do it. Just like when you're going out on a date or you asking somebody, or even in this most recent situation that you told me about where you asked the guy, we can do XYZ. You asked him out on a date. That's masculine energy. So you may not realize that because, of course, you want to be a go-getter and you're not afraid and all those things, but that is the masculine energy, right? The second thing in regards to masculine energy is carrying yourself as, and I don't know how you carry yourself outside, but just walking can show a little bit of your feminine energy. Some of the outfits that you wear can show some of your feminine energy. All of those things soften up who you are as a woman. Now, when you open up your mouth, that takes it all the way to the next level. Okay? So I want to make sure that you are leading from the point of, and I don't want you to be a 1950s type of woman, but I want you to fall back a little bit. Okay? Now, when it comes to meeting married single men, the first thing that you want to do is ask yourself, is this person worthy of my phone number? What makes this person worthy of my phone number? And create a list for yourself. That's your homework. Create a list for yourself. Give yourself at least 3 things. And these 3 things are going to be based on just that 5-minute encounter. We're going to base it off of their appearance, their personality, and their marital status. So for you, when you encounter this gentleman or most gentlemen, you probably don't ask them up front. With this particular case, you asked the guy, you didn't ask the guy, you didn't even allow him
directly. Right.
You didn't even allow him to answer. Right. So you see where your mistakes or your patterns are. So you just have to follow through with that. The third thing that I want to tell you is that when somebody asks to, for your name and number and things of that nature, think about how you look. Think about the way you were dressed. And think about the type of man that you want. The type of man that you want, would they like to talk to somebody that looks busted, beat up, dressed down? The answer is no. So those type of men, they are looking for somebody that they believe is an easy target. Okay, so you want to make sure that when somebody approaches you, you're going to make sure that it's somebody that approaches you when you look the part. Because women with low self-esteem, and this is not you were in, just
sure,
low Saturday, right? But women with low self-esteem are easy targets for men who are married, which is why he came chasing you down. He knows that you are doing this home thing by yourself. So he sees that, right? So men are targeting women who they may feel are lonely and who may feel as though they are easy pickings. Why would you, as a high value woman, want to date somebody that is looking scruffy, raggedy, all of those things? You wouldn't. You would never want to go on a date that with somebody that looks like that. That would not be your interest. So when you come up with your list, come up with 3 things about the person within that first 5 minutes. That first 5 minutes. Does he fit my part? Is he somebody that I want to get to know better? And is he married? And when you ask that, are you married? Ask it as a closed-end question. It's going to be a yes or a no.
Exactly.
And we don't want to take any, are you separated or any of those things?
No.
Okay. No. And the last tip that I'm going to give you is to make sure that you are joining groups where people are like you, like-minded people. So everybody has heard of Eventbrite, right, and meetup.com. So meetup.com, I want you to start joining groups that have people in it that like your interests. So if you are somebody that likes painting, do that. If you are somebody that likes sewing, do that. If you are somebody that likes reading, join these type of clubs that have men that are on your level. Maybe it is a tech group. Maybe it is a finance group. go to meetup.com looking for professional groups to join. These people are more likely to be focused on their money, their business, and making quality connections. Men that are at cigar bars, not so much. Men that are at, just different parties or different avenues, maybe not so much. Those people are looking for like an outlet, maybe want to get out and, have some fun for a little while. There's also a great social group, which is called the Lux Tribe, which I'm a member of. We do a lot of social events as well. Now, that group does have a lot of individuals in it, men as well. These men, some of them are married, some of them are not. But guess what? Married people hang around other married people or people that are marriage material.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to
At
get
this point, I'm ready for, arranged marriage. Like somebody else do the vetting, please.
Okay, and I'm glad that you mentioned that. What steps have you taken to reach your relationship goals? Have you hired a relationship coach like myself? Have you hired a matchmaker? Have you created a strategy for online dating?
Oh no, I don't do any online dating.
Exactly. So the answer is no, no, no. So right now, online dating is the most successful way to meet people and marry. People that meet on online dating, 30, I forgot the actual stats, but it's about 60 something percent that are getting married from online dating. 30 something percent are not. So try your efforts. I had a client of mine just recently get engaged. Why? Because she did not want to do online dating, and I gave her the steps and the tools to actually do online dating. And she got a ring from somebody that she met online. There are a lot of online dating apps, but all you need is a strategy to make sure that you are not just swiping left and swiping right.
Okay.
Okay. So, Tisha, before I let you go, what do you want the people to know? Is there anything that you have coming up? Do you have any celebrations coming up? Any birthdays? How can we find you? And we want to learn more about you. For all of my men that are watching this on the replay, that are watching this live, if you are in Charlotte or open to not online dating, she's not ready for that, but we're going to get her ready. But maybe long distance dating. Tisha is your girl. What do you want everybody to know?
I don't think I want to do long distance anymore either.
You may not. You see, you keep saying no, no, no. So that means you're not really ready and you are not really open. You have to give yourself different avenues.
Okay, I've done long distance before.
You didn't, but they may move to you. You don't always have to be the person that moves.
Okay.
Not everybody will be in the same city. So I want to make sure that you are taking the necessary steps to live your best love life, one step at a time with expert relationship help. Where can the people find you? What's your Instagram?
Okay, so my Instagram is Tisha Baby, TECIABABY at Instagram. Also the same. My threads is the Tisha Baby, and also my TikTok is the Tisha Baby. So things that I'm into, I am I'm a community supporter, so I do a lot of nonprofit work. So I'm kind of out in the community in Charlotte quite often. I love roller skating. So if you go to my social media, I travel to roller skate. So I do go to a lot of different cities when I'm traveling. I love to travel. That's one of my love languages. I like outdoor activities. I like anything that is fun. I'm on Eventbrite all the time. So I like festivals. I just like outdoor activities. So if somebody wants to, I'm looking for somebody that's in that place where they're ready to live life. Like together. So
fun and have a good time.
Yeah, I mean, I passed the children age. I'm open to children, don't get me wrong, but I don't have to have them. I don't have any right now. But I just want somebody to do the normal stuff with. I don't feel like I accomplished all of this to go through this path by
That's
myself.
Right. To do life alone. Absolutely.
Do life alone. I'm everybody's first call, and I'm looking for my person that can, that wanna, we want to have our shows or hang out on the patio, or catch a trip, or share a meal. So that's about it. I mean, that's my short list of.
All right. Well, that's a short list. That's kind of long, but we're gonna work with it. But it's okay. You know exactly what you want.
Tall, dark, and handsome. I didn't say just ambitious or enterprising. Um, Good attitude, like to
Good attitude,
communicate.
right? So you got to start where you are. I want to make sure that I refer you to my book. It's called The Compatible Companion. It's the
Okay.
number one new release, and it gives you the foundational tools. Let me go ahead and grab it for you right here. It gives you the foundational tools without the hefty price tag of a relationship coach. Inside the book is definitely a workbook as well as some strategic practices. You can get that book at april.acarter.com, or you can order it from your local bookstore or even on Amazon. Tisha, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I hope that you found valuable feedback. We look forward to seeing you again on the other side this time, though. Talk to you
Okay.
later. See you soon.
Thank you, April. Have a great night.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
All right, guys, that was Tisha. Tisha is dealing with a lot of the issues that so many single, successful women deal with and have to go through. But the point is not just to go through it, the point is to learn from it and grow from it. So, with my advice and my tools, Tisha should be able to start a little bit of where she's at and turn it into a new situation where she can find her most compatible companion. Our next guest coming to the stage is Keisha. But before I bring Keisha on, I want to tell you guys all of the amazing things that we have going on. I'm April A. Carter, certified expert relationship coach, and I help single women transform their love life so they can finally say so long to the single life. I have been married for over 15 years, the second time, and I plan on helping you meet your everlasting love as well. I do this through coaching. I do this through singles events. Of course, we have couples mixers as well, and women empowerment events. Some of the amazing things that we have happening with my organization, So Long Single, is we have a 2025 retreat. It's called the Self Love Thrive Retreat. A lot of us, we do so much, whether you're married, single, or in a situationship. This particular retreat is for you. I want you to go to So Long Single, excuse me, I want you to go to Thrive, THRIVE, thrive.solongsingle.com. And we're going to put that in the chat for you. Thrive.solongsingle.com so you can learn more about it. It's happening in September of 2025. And I want you to come. I want you to bring your girls on it as well. It's going to be so much fun. We also have some amazing opportunities for you to join the So Long Single program, the summer cohort. Listen, you've been single for too long. You are too beautiful. You are too ambitious to do life alone, just as Tisha mentioned. This next cohort is happening on Tuesday, June the 10th, and it's an 8-week program where we go through so many of the different relationship roadblocks. We have mindset shifts. We have other professionals as well. We help you get snatched so that you can do everything possible to reach your relationship goals. For that, I want you to go on over to waitlist.solongsingle.com. That's waitlist.solongsingle.com to get yourself on the waitlist. I mean, these little bursts of information and tips and strategies are great, right? But you need some more help. You need deep dive expert relationship help. And no better place for you to get that than with me, your certified expert relationship coach. Now, coming to the stage next. Last but not least, we have Miss Keisha. We are going to bring her on the line. She's going to get her questions answered as well. Come on, Miss Keisha. Let's bring her in. We're adding her to the stage. Here she goes. Look how beautiful.
Yay! Can you hear me?
Yes,
Can
we
you
can
hear?
hear you loud
Yes.
and clear. You look
Okay.
gorgeous. Thank you for
Thank
being
you.
here.
I was having some technical difficulties earlier. I'm glad I figured it out.
It's okay. We made it through. It's okay. We made it through. So you sound really good. You look gorgeous. So
Thank you.
hopefully you got some good feedback from some of the information that Miss Tisha was asking.
Absolutely. A lot of the issues that she was expressing resonated with me as well. So yeah, I've been taking notes.
Okay, good. We're going to take notes. And then what I'm going to do later, I'm going to go back and try to highlight some of these questions. So you guys, if you're watching it on the replay, you can just scroll directly to the part that you need and take what you want. Okay. Because like I mentioned, this is not something new. A lot of people go through this type of relationship roadblocks. And it's not just women, ladies. The men, I work with men too. You guys will be surprised how many men call me, slide in my DM, They actually request consultations. And I'm like, wow, okay, if I could just get my men to go with the ladies, then like, so I've been working on that. We'll see about doing a matchmaking set maybe pretty soon if that's something you ladies would like. So Keisha,
Yes,
what are
ma'am.
some of your relationship obstacles? What are some questions that you have for the expert tonight?
Well, what I think maybe what I see as, maybe my biggest issue is what some people might refer to as over investing too early. Like I am a people person, even in my friend groups, my family groups. I'm someone that wants to know what you're up to, what you got going on, how I can support you. I'm gonna remember your birthday, your kids' birthdays, their names, what they got going on, and I'm gonna check in about those things. So like my energy and my effort with most of the people in my life, it's up here.
Okay.
That's just who I am.
That's
So
who you
when
are.
I meet someone new, my energy is up here usually as well, and I want to know all the things about them. I want them to know about me, etc. But what I find is I'm up here, but they're maybe down here in terms of effort and getting to know you. So I'm asking a lot of questions and remembering a lot of details and not getting like that same kind of energy back. So what tends to happen is then I fall back because I feel like, I'm recognizing that maybe I'm over investing or I feel like I'm doing too much. So let me fall back. But on one hand, that kind of feels inauthentic because it's not who I am. It's a conscious effort for me to fall back. Um, but I want somebody who's given me the same sort of effort and energy that I'm giving them. And thus far, I haven't been able to find that.
Okay, well, you know what? Again, this is not something that's brand new. I've definitely heard this before as well. The first thing that I want to ask you is where do you meet some of these guys? Oh, before we go any further, can you double check your audio? We're getting a little bit of feedback from you.
Maybe I'm using my AirPods. Maybe my hair is hitting them. Is that any
It
better?
sounds like an echo.
Okay. Well, let me take them
Are you
off.
able to
Hold on.
take off your earpods?
Yes, ma'am. Hold
I think
on.
it's a delay.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now much better.
Wait a minute. I lost my audio. Hold on.
We can hear you.
Okay. I don't know.
Okay, well, we can hear you. Okay, guys, that's okay. We're going to bring her back on. There she goes. She's back on. Here she goes.
Now?
All right, there you go. I think it might have been, did you have your
Can you
laptop?
hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
No.
Did
Okay.
you have your laptop and your cell phone open at the same time?
Hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I don't
Yeah,
know. I'm sorry.
it's okay.
I'm not a technically inclined person, so I'm doing the best I can over here.
That's
But
right. That's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and push through because I can hear you perfectly fine. It's just a little bit of feedback. And we'll try to get that correct on the back end. Okay. So for you, your question, well, more of your concern is that you're over investing in the relationship or whatever it is too soon. My question for you is where are you meeting these people? And tell me a little bit about your first encounter.
so unlike Tisha, I am not against online dating. That's probably where I encounter most of the new people. Another issue I have is people coming back into my life that maybe things didn't work out in the past, and now we're going to try again. That's another issue that I'll get into in a minute. But my primary method for meeting new people is, online.
Okay. Okay, so you meet people online. What is your online dating strategy? Tell us a little bit about that. What do you do? How do you vet?
I don't know that I would call it a strategy, but I'm of course, swiping through, and you first have to pass the appearance test. I like recent pictures, full body pictures. I'm big on smiles. I don't want somebody mean mugging in every picture. I don't like a lot of headshots. So first you got to get past the sort of appearance test. And, I was taking notes on the three things that you were telling Keisha on the last thing about meeting people in person. So a lot of those principles apply or align with my approach online as well. So appearance is important. And then you have to be saying something in your profile. The people that just set up a profile, add a couple of pictures, they don't seem serious to me. If you don't, take the few minutes to write up something about who you are and what you're looking for, and that profile, things in that profile have to resonate with, my interests and what I'm looking for, and who I am. And then, you know, I might like you, you might like me. We match. That first conversation, like I said, in person, online, I ask a bunch of questions. Like I am genuinely curious about people, so I want to know, are you, and I'm not asking this, but I want to know, are you serious, or are you just the downside with online is it's low investment. You could be talking, you could be married, you could be, just checking it out, you could be just having fun. I want to weed out those people. So I'm trying to have like an actual conversation in the DMs. And, if that goes well, we'll migrate to phone. And then if that goes well, we'll migrate to in person and so on. But I don't know that I've ever really sat down and thought like, what is my strategy? That's just kind of how I've been approaching it.
Okay, well, that is the first mistake. We need a strategy, right? So think about when you're looking for a new job, or even when you graduated from college or to even go to college. You had to have a strategy to find out what colleges were the best fit for you. You decided, you took some time to actually create a strategy. And then based on your strategic plan, that's the way you attack, your your goals, whether it was your professional goals or your educational goals, or heck, even when it's time to go out. Let's think about when you go on vacation. You have a whole plan before you book a hotel, before you fly, before you do anything. So your relationship, especially when it comes to finding somebody of value for long-term love, you absolutely cannot just wing it. So with me and my team, we actually create strategic plans for your online dating. So that's something that you need to do as well. You have to have a strategy. Now, you mentioned that there's no investment, right? It's a low investment. Tell me about the dating sites that you are using, because there are a lot of dating sites that actually can kind of weed out those low investment type of people. One, I mean, paid dating sites. Are you are you on any of those paid dating platforms?
It's interesting that you bring that up, because up until this year, I was not. I was using like Facebook, or the free versions of some of these dating sites. In 2025, the beginning of this year, I started paying for Match.com. That's the one that I do pay for, and the one that I kind of use or I have been using the most frequently. So yes, but I'm still on. I'm only on Match right now, and Facebook is always kind of on in the background. And sometimes I go out there and check to see, just what's out there on Facebook. But Match is my primary one right now.
Okay, another one that I'm going to give you is RBL. It's called Real Black Love.
Okay.
In RBL, you have to have a paid subscription to see the photos and vice versa. So you want to start going, and RBL is Real Black Love. I don't know what your dating preferences are, but it is specifically for Black love. So
That's what I'm looking for.
Okay, perfect. So if you are looking for real Black love, then RBL is yours, right? So there are other sites there as well that cater to Black professionals that do require you to pay a fee on both ends. Most of the time, people who are looking to just play games and waste time, they are going to be on those free sites or those free apps. So that's the first thing I want you to do. Actually, that's the second thing. The first thing I want you to do is come up with a dating strategy. It doesn't have to be a whole big, drawn out situation, but the strategy should include what you're looking for, how long you should be on those dating apps, and how many dating sites you should be on. And then secondary, I want you to think about the type of people that you respond to, because you can't respond to everybody, and no, everybody does not deserve your time. I had a friend a while ago, she was talking and we were laughing about dating and relationships. And she's like, April, I like whoever likes me. I'm like, no, girl, you can't do that. And when you're on these dating apps, it's pretty much that's the way it goes. Whoever likes you and you match with, you like them back. No. So we have to treat the digital dating world as though it is real life in person. Okay. Because when you meet somebody face to face, you don't just automatically give them your number. Now, if you do, sometimes it might be like Tisha. You find out later on the back end that they were not even worthy of your number. They were not even worthy of your number. The third thing I want you to remember is not everybody deserves your phone number. So I want you to use dating voice VoIP phone numbers specifically for dating, online dating, or even face-to-face. When you meet somebody in the club or when you meet somebody in the store and they're like, hey, you take my number, put it in my phone. No, they should not automatically go in your phone, because your phone is for preferred daters only. So you're going to give them a specialized phone number. And I'm going to give that to you once we get offline. I can't think of the name right now, but there's a specific app that is better than the Google phone number. You can use Google phone numbers, of course, but there's a particular app that is better than the Google voice number, because the person calling it doesn't realize that it's not your actual phone number.
Okay.
Now, when they upgrade to, somebody of worthiness and of interest, then you can give them your personal phone number. The fourth thing that I want to tell you about is when you are on these online dating apps, when you are looking for somebody of value, of quality, I want to make sure that they are the person that is, or the man that is doing the hunting and the fishing. Okay. Not you sliding into their DMs. And when they are meeting you, or they, ask you for your name, they know your name because it's a dating app. When they ask you, to have a conversation or go further, make sure that you're looking for those context clues. On my YouTube channel, I have tons of videos that tell you some of the things that you should look out for when you're online dating. I actually have on my website as well a whole online dating profile, digital download for you. And I believe it's free. If not, it's a very small amount. But you need a strategy, because you're just wasting time. You want to date with intention, not just date to be dating. Okay, so that was that portion. So we got all of that out the way. You need a dating strategy, and you need to, of course, you're asking questions, but fall back on asking so many questions, because why? It's not relevant. It's not relevant because they are not the person that you're going to marry today or tomorrow. Have fun. Have conversations. Just enjoy the time until you think it's somebody that you want to take offline. Okay. So now we're going to move over to you over investing too soon. That ties into the have fun. Not everybody wants to be so serious coming out the gate. When you are a woman or a man of a particular age, you might have gone through some things. Maybe you just recently got out of a relationship. Maybe you're trying to get your kids through college, and you just kind of want to ease into dating. So yes, it may be nice for you to remember some things. Just ask one question. How did so-and-so go? Oh, that's great. The bombarding of things makes it feel like a real relationship really fast. So you're coming out the gate hot and smoking. You also want to make sure that you are not showing your hand. So when I was growing up, there was this saying, you're showing your slip. Grandma, older people used to say that, you showing your slip. It's like they see your whole hand before you even play your card, play your deck. Why give them so much energy? You shouldn't. Because at the end of the day, you are the prize, and dating is all about you. It's about who you choose, why you choose them, and why you stay in the relationship. So think about who you choose wisely. Because while it's easy to get into a relationship, it's so hard to get out of a relationship. Because people always say, well, I can't help who I fall in love with, but you absolutely can. So make sure that you are setting up your vetting process, whatever that may look like for you. Okay, so in my program, So Long Single, that is something that we cover as well. We have 1 week of covering what your dating vetting process should look like for you. Remember, it's not all about society. It's not about, some of these people online, they tell you, oh, you got to date a man that makes $1 million. No, what works for you is going to be your blueprint. So set that up for yourself. The next thing I want you to do is not apologize for who you are, because the person that you're supposed to be with will love and appreciate that high energy self. They are going to love that about you. They are going to want somebody who is high energy because that person may be a low energy. So you don't have to apologize for that. That's what makes you you. That's what makes you unique. The over investing is something that you definitely want to shy away from. When you are nonchalant, unfortunately, it does make men want to know more about you because it leaves a little bit of mystery. It makes them more intrigued about you. Okay, so when you're having these conversations, just give a little and take it back. Give a little and take it back. Let them ask you all of the questions, and then you answer with maybe 1 or 2 words, like, "Oh, I like that. It's nice. Yes. Would you like to go with me so and so? Yes, I would love to do that." Instead of, "Oh my gosh, yes, I cannot wait. I'm excited." No, you do this. You get asked out on dates all the time. Yes, I love to go to opera. I guess it's okay.
Okay.
You still have your personality and you still be yourself, but not so over the top. Okay. So these are some of the things that I want you to start. I know I gave you a lot of things right now, but we're just going to eat the elephant one bite at a time. A little bit at a time, a little bit at a time will help you reach your relationship results. And then finally, what I want you to do is something that I told Tisha. I want you to think about what brings you joy. In the book, Compatible Companion, I have a section in there so that you can remind yourself about what brings you joy. So think about when you was a kid, or some of the things that you stopped doing that you like doing. Maybe it's coloring, maybe it's going to the beach. Whatever brings you joy and makes you happy, I want you to connect with some of those people in those types of groups on Meetup. Why? Because yes, you're at the Meetup group to potentially meet a great partner, but when you are lost in something that brings you joy, it'll be effortless. You'll be in your own element, and that person will as well. And when 2 people see each other that are really enjoying life, it makes you more attractive. So
that makes sense.
And take the pressure off of it. And then, I know I said the last thing, but I have so many great points for you. I want to make sure that your friends and family know that you are looking for a compatible companion. And the reason why we're going to tell our friends and family and not be shy or shy away from it or feel, embarrassed by it is because they are literally free matchmakers. So instead of paying a matchmaker or somebody like myself to help you meet your compatible companion, you have hundreds of friends, I'm sure, or friends of a friend. If one friend tells another friend that you're single and looking for somebody, they might have a referral. And there's nothing better than having a referral.
Okay. Yeah, that's one thing I have not done. That as you're saying, and I'm like, why haven't I done that? It seems so obvious, but no, I haven't engaged my like network for support. And I do have a number of friends with friends, and I have not done that, and I don't know why.
And that's okay. That's why I'm here, girl. I'm the relationship lady. I help you get the mind going and thinking about things that you can do to get your love life all the way up to the next level. So you got a lot of homework. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to give you so much homework.
I do.
I didn't mean to give you so much homework, but myself or Jessica will follow up with you within the next week. Sometime next week, we're going to be enjoying Mother's Day this weekend. So we'll be following up with you, making sure that you're staying on top of this and giving you a sturdy to-do list and just checking back in to see how everything is going. And I want you to know that time is of the essence. The longer you sit on something, the longer it's going to take you to get started, or you may not even get started at all. So start getting those juices and that ball rolling.
Do it now.
Right. Sooner than later. Start implementing some of those steps. And I think that's pretty much it for tonight. What final questions do you have before we let you go?
I'm overwhelmed. You gave me a lot. In the best way. I mean that in the best way. So I definitely will spend some time digesting this and really putting into action, because I know myself, if I don't act now, it's gonna get lost in everything and become something that I don't do. So this has been super helpful, and I definitely appreciate you having me on tonight.
Oh, of course. Well, thank you so much for being part of the community. We are excited that you were here. Is there anything that you want the world to know about? Anything that we should be on the lookout for? Any amazing events happening in your life? Anything special?
Nothing special. I'm out here living life, enjoying life. I'm single, but I'm still enjoying life and doing things that bring me joy. So I'm on all the socials, KR Superstar '08 on everything. So you can follow me and my adventures around the world and see what I'm up to. But yeah, I'm just out here doing the thing. I have 2 kids getting ready to go to college. I have twins
All
getting ready to go to
right.
college in the fall.
Yeah,
So I'm looking
congratulations.
forward. Thank you. I'm looking forward to having my single life, my me life, like when I focus back on me and
Swag back, right.
finding somebody. Yes. So yes,
Well, that's
that's
exciting
that's what I'm
news.
up to.
Oh, that's a lot. Well, you got a lot going on. Definitely living a fulfilling life, and you are not waiting for anybody. So I love that about you. We thank you so much for being on tonight's episode of Ask April A. Love on the Line Live, and we will see you pretty soon. Keep an eye out for our email. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Bye. All right, guys. It's been let me get these bangs together. My curls fell a little bit. That's okay. It's been an amazing episode of Ask April A. Love on the Line Live. If you want to be featured on our show, please go to april-a-carter.com/events. Submit a request. We have 2 guests, or we try to have 2 guests every Thursday at 8 p.m. If you receive valuable information, well, let me not say if. I know you receive valuable information. So be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. If you are watching this on the replay, be sure to put the date that you are watching it. And we will love to see you here again. Remember, we have some amazing things coming up. We got the 2025 Self-Love Thrive Retreat. That's happening on September the 18th through the 20th, I believe it's the 22nd, 2025. Doors are now open. If you register today, you will get an amazing offer and opportunity. If you bring a friend, it's only $1,200 per person. So listen, it's time for you to let your love thrive, especially your self-love. We have a couples wine tour and tasting coming up if you're in the Charlotte area. That's going to be happening on June the 21st. That's a Saturday. We do a flirt after work mixer every other first Wednesday of the month. Every other month, first Wednesday. Our next one is happening in June as well. That's on June the 4th. So many good things. I'm giving you all of the tools. I'm doing all the things just so you can live your best love life. Listen, I don't do it for me. I'm happily married. I've been married for more than 15 years, but I want you to understand and know what it's like to have that compatible companion in your life. Somebody that you can love and know that they are there for you no matter what, through thick and thin. Somebody that you feel safe with, somebody that you can be vulnerable with, and somebody that you can live your best love life with. I'm April A. Carter, certified expert relationship coach, and I'll see you on the other side. Bye. Thank you for watching.